Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Steele. I'm part of the Google Cloud Retail Solutions team, and I want to spend a few minutes talking to you today about how data-driven technology is powering real innovation in retail. We all know these are difficult times right now for retailers. Depending on which type of retail you find yourselves in, the impact of the pandemic has had multiple impacts on retailers. We've seen huge spikes in interest and demand from grocery retailers, for example, but also some pretty challenging impacts in other parts of retail, such as fashion and apparel, for example. So although we've had one pandemic, there have been many effects on retailers. And in addition to retailers, we've also seen a significant impact on consumers. Many consumers now facing pressures due to the pandemic, increased pressure on their financial outlook, worrying about their jobs and their security, and more pressure on families overall. So it's understandable that consumer optimism and purchase intent have been declining. Fewer customers reporting feeling optimistic, more reporting lower income, and consumers expecting their finances to be challenged for a number of months into the future. So it's a challenging time for retail right now. But alongside these financial pressures, we have seen consumers experimenting with lots of new ways of shopping. So more consumers going online for the first time, more shopping through new retail experiences. And as you can see on screen, some of the research that we've seen at Google, more than 50% of shoppers trying a new shopping experience for the first time went online to purchase something they would normally buy in store, or tried new experiences, new shopping journeys like click and collect or curbside. So it's a really interesting time for retailers in that there are lots of challenges because of the pandemic, but this real new desire to experiment and try new things from consumers, meaning retailers are needing to innovate and drive new experiences for their customers. We've seen retailers that we work with and that we talk to at Google Cloud thinking about their experiences and thinking about their business in three specific areas and really partnering with Google to drive innovation in their business. We've seen lots of retailers focus on creating engaging experiences. So thinking about how to build new experiences, test and learn quickly, and really make a significant leap forwards in the capability of the experience they offer to customers. We've seen lots of retailers focusing on their data capability. So building out new ways to use data to power both the consumer experience, but also data driving the business operation. And then also, we've seen retailers really focusing on the omni-channel experience. How do I use technology and innovation to connect channels, to drive my operation, to simplify and make things more efficient? And I'm going to talk to each of these examples in a little bit more detail. So firstly, on creating engaging experiences, what are we seeing today? Well, it's an absolute requirement for retailers to have a strong digital experience, whether that's e-commerce and online shopping, or whether that's about providing digital technologies in store, or a combination of channels. It's really important for retailers to have that digital opportunity for their consumers to interact with their brand. A number of years ago, it used to be a nice to have an efficient and well presented digital front end. That's just no longer the case. It's absolutely essential. We've seen a big transition into mobile first journeys, retailers really thinking about which devices their consumers are using to shop. We've seen a big growth in fulfillment opportunities, so more click and collect, pick up from curb, and innovative new opportunities like delivering to home in increasingly rapid speeds. And also conversational commerce is becoming more and more of an interesting route for consumers to interact with their favorite retail brands. As many customers around the globe have spent time in lockdown, spent time confined to their home, but speaking to relatives, friends, and loved ones over video, just like I am now, then why can't I talk to my favorite retail brands in the same way? So powering this increase in retailers using technology to talk to their customers. A great example that we've seen is Ulta Beauty, a beauty retailer who are using artificial intelligence inside of a chat-based solution to predict and anticipate and answer their guest questions. So you can see an example of the experience. Consumer types a question or selects a topic, and the chatbot is able to easily respond in real time based on the artificial intelligence in this technology. So it's a great example of using technology to solve an experience challenge in new ways in a device that consumers are mostly using, and also saving time for the consumer and the retailer as well. What are we expecting on the horizon? Well, a continuation of the themes that we've seen so far. So, creating digital experiences to augment or replace the store visits. We're expecting to see more and more virtual try-ons and more showrooming in the retail environment, and expecting that consumers will have real, truly channel-less experiences. If you flip to the next slide, we'll see lots of opportunities that we're seeing retailers work on their new technology. One of the things that we've definitely seen is this opportunity to engage consumers more through video and through virtual engagements. And so I would definitely encourage retailers watching this today to be thinking about, how do I power new experiences through video, through augmented technologies, connecting 3D, AR, and VR into our shopping experience. Definitely something for further down the horizon, but we're starting to see retailers experiment in this space already. Moving on to the next topic, developing customer-centric data strategies. So what are we seeing today? Well, this continued pursuit to drive towards the 360-degree full view of the consumer. So many retailers have access to so much data, consumer interactions, marketing data, preferences, email connections. But many retailers talk about not being able to fully leverage that data to drive value, or that it takes a long time to drive value from that data. So we're really starting to see retailers think about, how do I create really meaningful value for consumers and also for my business out of data? We're seeing retailers breaking down silos between different teams and systems, bringing together data into a single source of the truth. We're seeing a real focus on how that data insight is shared. So not having to use data scientist teams in order to be able to provide insights for business users, but actually providing that and putting that right into the hands of the individual business users. And then finally, reducing the time to action, cutting down the time between the amount of time it takes to produce the research and insight, and actually making decisions that power the organization. A great example of this is Zulily, who launched a brand new loyalty scheme for a huge number of customers, around 5 million customer visits a day, analyzing somewhere in the region of 5 billion events at any one time, and being able to provide personalized personalized loyalty recommendations in real time to those consumers. And doing this in a way that really optimized the outcome, optimized the value that that data provided, and also building additional value for the business. And what was really interesting about this example is that the ability to optimize for new product launches, those products where there wasn't a rich history to call on, was particularly effective. And so using machine learning to be able to process data at scale, predict some of the outcomes, and offer personalized recommendations was a real win for Zulily in this case. What are we seeing on the horizon? Well, we're starting to see more and more retailers think about, how do I use data in real time? So I think the big shift beyond having a complete view of data is thinking about, how do I create experiences powered by data in real time? So for example, using data to share inventory availability data. Whereabouts can I get hold of a certain product? Which store is it available in right now? How do I get access to that right now? Which is the most convenient fulfillment method for me? But also this infusion of artificial intelligence with additional data points to be able to drive the performance of the business. So this is about saying, not just using data for the consumer experience, but also powering the business. So predicting where to place inventory, predicting how many of a certain SKU or product to order, which ranges to build out, what is the right assortment at a store level. Increasingly we see data backed by machine learning and artificial intelligence being able to answer these questions in real time and driving additional value for retailers. And then finally, driving channelless operational excellence. Well, right now we're seeing more and more retailers connecting their employees, their frontline workers in particular, with other parts of the business. So using collaboration tools, using technology to bring both their colleagues together, but also to increasingly connect colleagues with customers. So for example, retailers using devices in store to be able to connect much more quickly with consumers. A great example here is Target in the US, really blending and blurring the lines between the different channels so that consumers can add to basket at home and expect to be able to see that basket and check out when they visit the store. And also empowering store associates with Android devices to be able to understand, what's going on for that customer, help them to check out, help them to navigate their store experience. So a really great example of how technology is connecting consumers and retailers and helping retail colleagues to have up-to-date information to serve their customers better. What we're seeing on the horizon here is retailers really thinking outside the box, thinking about how do we change the role of the store in this new environment, now that consumers want to shop a different way, now that they want more certainty. How do we make sure that this works using technology to connect our business and bring our colleagues right to the heart of our offer? So we expect to see increasing innovation in this space. And I think it's a quite exciting future for retail. Hopefully those examples have shared just a snapshot of what's going on right there. And I'm sure you can think of lots of other engaging opportunities too. It really is a time where we're seeing innovation explode in retail, and programs that perhaps took 2 or 3 years in the making in the past now are being completed in 2, 3, 4 months, as retailers are keen to just make progress, design new experiences, drive value more quickly, and ultimately serve their customers better. And it's important to do that quickly, because if one retailer doesn't, their competition will move in. And that's why we're partnering with retailers at Google Cloud to help drive their digital transformation and help drive their innovation. And we believe Google offers a great platform for innovation to support customers to deliver real change in their business. We have a scaled infrastructure serving all of Google's properties. We connect together the best of Google with Google Cloud. So YouTube, Android, Chrome, Search, Maps, all of those products bringing to our retail customers to help them design and devise innovative new solutions. And Google's approach is one of innovation and partnership. It's a culture of our business, and that's what we bring to our retail customers, alongside specific industry solutions that help add value in this industry in particular. So thanks for taking some time to listen to a few thoughts from me. I hope you found it interesting. Thanks very much.